Start off. Welcome everybody to the October Connect. Connect is the networking event run by the Chamber of Commerce here in Jindabyne. Traditionally the format is we have speakers who nominate themselves to give us a pitch. Usually we have a couple of business pitches, we have a council pitch or an update as to what's happening, and then also usually a community one. So if you've got a business, if you've got a community announcement that you want to share with 20, 40 people, that's the sort of numbers that we get, please let Fiona know and turn up on the 4th Thursday of every month. I always get the 3rd and the 4th confused. So I'll say
Not the last one, Gordon.
Thursday.
The fourth one.
I'm horrible. Tonight we've got Steve Cup from Snow Mountains Magazine who's going to give us a talk. Andrew Oliver from Alpine Apollo Flyers. Alpine Apollo Flyers.
No.
Sarah White from Council, and we've got Petra Hegshed from Enjoy.
Yo.
Close. It's Enyo.
Enyo, I apologise.
Enjoy Enyo.
I think we need to convert him. Yeah.
Gordon Jenkinson for the Snowy Trout Challenge will give us an update. For my part, a couple of announcements. One is that the next Connect, which is on the 26th of November, is going to coincide with our AGM. If you remember, please come along. We every year, of course, we have an AGM, and every year our positions become open. This year, we're going to be asking for a nice committee. We've got a great committee, by the way, this year. 4 positions become vacant. We're going to try and structure things a little bit differently by asking for volunteers to join us in the office bearers positions of President, Vice President, Treasurer, Secretary. Also, we're looking for somebody who's got the ability for grant fundraising, events coordination, marketing and tourism, legal, constitution, vital officer, special activation precinct officer. We're looking for people to join the chamber and put something back into the business community and put something back into our community. The chamber is a very strong organisation. We do very well in communicating with the council. We do very well communicating with the state and also the federal politicians. It's not a hard volunteer role by any stretch of the imagination. We meet once a month. We spend an hour and a half going through various topics, and then we meet again at Connect. It's very light, but it's very, very fulfilling. Another AGM I want to give a plug to, and that's the Jindabyne Community Association. Their AGM is on the 14th of November, and that particular association is really geared toward aged care. They've been working for a number of years trying to get aged care to Jindabyne. It's a hard task, but we've got a good group of individuals who have put some time in. So if you're interested in that, 14th of November, it will be at the Bowling Club. I forget what time it's on there. If you're interested, come and see me afterwards. I'll keep you in the loop.
Yeah, and we just joined.
And the association just joined.
Yeah.
Ridges sponsor Connect. They put on a lovely beverage, a range of beverages. There's a jar there with some notes and some coins. Basically, it's a donation. Very generous. They do a damn good job for us. And in that regard, I just want to plug their Melbourne Cup luncheon, which is on at 1 p.m. Melbourne Cup Day. There's only 10 seats left. It's a 40-seat event. There's only 10 seats left, so if you want to do it, it's $75, which includes a 3-course lunch, a glass of bubbly, and it's seated in this Squire's Bistro, and it's also got the live coverage. That's my responsibilities done. Can I call on Steve to give us a wee chat? Steve Cup, Snow Mountains Magazine.
Thanks, Olivia. Look, most of you, I think, know me. Snow Mountains Magazine, latest copies on the shelf now. Of course, you've all probably read it already. Just a few things. Just want to mention that this is our 4th year. This edition always coincides with our anniversary, so we've just finished 4 years running the magazine. Obviously, this year a little bit tougher with everyone, but we're still going strong. But one of the big things we've got going this year, which will be a benefit to all advertisers, all the advertisers always like to have reach more people. And we've got a new website being launched in December. And all our regular advertisers will have a profile space on that website. And it's going to be a tourist website with news, as opposed to a news website that does something else. So we're quite excited for that. There's actually a half-page house ad in that edition. So all our regular advertisers pretty much know about that now. But for someone who might not like print and thinks they just want to be in the digital space, we're trying to accommodate that now as well. And over the last 12 months, 18 months, we've got a fair bit of traction off our website. There's still a few clunky bits on this one, so we've got a whole new rebuild, and I think once people see it, they'll be wholly impressed. And that also is another promotional tool that we use to promote the area. You know, there's a lot of people who still don't really realise that the print magazine goes into Sydney with 1,400 copies every edition, goes 1,900 copies into Canberra, plus the wider region here as well, into visitor centres beyond our immediate region, and then obviously we're heavily distributed into the corridors of where people travel. So that's really exciting for us. You know, we're the #1 magazine. On page 4 in every edition, you'll always see, we'll tell you how many we print. Not too many people like to say that these days, but we'll tell you how many we print, where we go, and we're quite proud of that. And if anyone who's not an advertiser has considered, now is the perfect time. Because like I said, we'll have a further reach through the digital one. So that'll be in early December, new website, snowmagazine.com.au, and you'll know when it's out because we'll be telling everyone radically that it's been launched. So that's all we have to say.
Spot on, Tony. Thank you, Steve. Andrew. Now, one of the things about Connect which is pretty unique is it doesn't give new business an opportunity of announcing they're in the area, or it gives an existing business an opportunity of outlining a new product. Personally, I bought from 2 different companies who are presented here, and I think I'm going to buy something from this guy later on. Good.
Hey guys, I'm Andrew from Apollo Blind Snowy Mountains is actually the name, but house one at Apollo Blind sounds anyway. Yeah, we just moved to town, my wife Carla and I in February. I've been visiting since I was a young lad. And we bought the franchise for Apollo Blinds. The history of that comes from Carla's father. He's owned the franchise for 30 years over in Wagga. And they came all the way across and stopped at Admitted and didn't actually service down this way. So now we're off the service and we cover from Cooma, all the Snowy Mountains, and also across to the south coast, Narooma down to Eagle as well. So we cover a fair area, but it's only 2.5 hours across to the coast. We've done a few jobs already over there. And yeah, we like to help the guys over there too, especially what they've been through the past year. What we're here for tonight basically is just to do a few support and spreading the word that we're in town. Whether it's a wider choice of blinds and indoor blinds, outdoor blinds, awnings, our roller shutters. We've just secured a contractor to help with the outdoor roller shutters, which are very effective for, as you know, bushfire proofing your house, along with all weather scenarios as well. So fingers crossed the next week or so we'll have that secured. Apart from that, at the moment we offer everything else from indoor plantation shutters, which are 100% basswood. They're not the mix that you might see from some of the companies of PVC and timber. Ours are 100% timber. We also offer the mix, the smart wood ones with PVC timber, but that's our little niche difference with the plantation shutters. They're also available outdoors as well, in an aluminium version as well. So, but on top of all that, we've got the outdoor awnings, the zip tracks, and all your cranky indoor awnings and everything like that, which make a massive difference come sun. And also the rain as well, they can block them out. 95% of the rain's blocked out from these outdoor awnings too. So yeah, so the main thing is that we're locals in town. If there's ever any issues, we're just a phone call away. We can pop in and we'll service anything rather than anyone coming down from Canberra or wherever possibly. We know there are a few other options in town as well, but always open for a second quote or a third quote or another opinion on anything.
Are you at Leesville or?
No, we've got a mobile showroom, so we don't need the office space. So I've got about 6 bags of samples and fabrics, and my wife is the guru of all of that from her experience in Wagga. And she'll gladly sit down with you for hours, and there's literally hundreds of different fabric samples we can go through that we can bring to you and show you all sorts of different options. We can match up any sort of tracks you might have outside to any colour as well, so it doesn't really matter what colour your house is or the outdoor is, we can pretty much make it match perfectly. So everything's made in Sydney at our factory up there, apart from plantation shutters. They still come from overseas, but everything else is made in Sydney with around 3 to 4 week turnaround. So yeah, that's that's it. So thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Sarah. Sarah Blight, Snowman Area Regional Council.
I guess more than ever there is a lot going on at council. I feel like I say it all the time, and the answer's always busy, but it really is busy. The main thing I wanted to mention, I guess, really the only thing is that we've got 2 of our strategic plans out on public exhibition currently. So one of them is the rural land use strategy, and the other one is our settlement strategy. Of most interest to you, we're going to have a drop-in session at the council office on the 29th of October from 9 till 4. So you can just drop in there any day and have a chat to the staff about anything that they're proposing for strategies. Then there's also an online survey, so I really encourage you to comment. These strategies are really the next step for them is feeding into our sort of new region-wide LEP. So you don't want our LEP to come out and realise, oh, I can't do it that on my block anymore. Thanks.
I've got to reinforce what Sarah said. Even if you're a long-time resident, get yourself involved and understand what a new LEP looks like. It doesn't contain, from what I understand, a lot of information or restrictions on Jindabyne, because that is part of the SAP. Nevertheless, you never know when you may have an opportunity of living in Berrydale or somewhere else in the Snowmere area. And certainly, whatever happens in the LEP, at some point in time marrying with the SAP, get yourself involved and understand what the restrictions are or what can happen, because nothing worse than complaining about it later on. The LEP is probably going to be with us for 20 years. So that's your one opportunity.
Excuse me, Sarah, sorry, I've got a question. I saw the link on the Facebook page and I followed the link, and then
Yeah.
when it had the click to have a look at it, it kept coming up with a 404.
There was a mapping error which I
Okay.
understand has been fixed, so it should be good now.
Sometimes it's out end as well, so thank you.
That's all right.
I've got a question. One's that asked the stupid question. What's the difference between the settlement proposal?
Settlement strategy and then a rural land use strategy.
Okay. What's the difference?
So the rural land use one is all about how we use our rural land, so outside, I guess, of CBD areas. So, you know, farmlands, you know, that sort of thing, and what you can and can't do.
It's already zoned.
It is, but what you can do has the potential to change under our new LEP once it comes into place. So things we're trying to encourage are things like agritourism, because that's really hard right now, and we don't permit a lot of those sorts of uses.
And the settlement,
And then the settlement strategy, let me bring it up. I'll
you're trying to
give you the proper word.
get new locations for towns or something?
So it's all part of the strategic planning framework. So it's around protecting and enhancing cultural and built heritage, the scenic landscape, carbon neutral future, promoting agriculture, providing employment land. So we've got enough industrial land, CBD, commercial type lands for business development. You know, support variety of housing options, integrating transport corridors and capitalising on growth and change. So it really is the document that sort of starts to set out the direction of the LEP. So it really is important to get in there. If there's something that stands out or something you think could fit, then now's the time to mention it.
It's a good read. Just gives you an idea of what's going to be happening in the area.
But wouldn't
And
that
you,
come under that?
it comes under SAP only for the Jindabyne area. So the SAP is not for the entire Snowmere Regional Council area.
So if we wanted to change something at, say, Moomba, that would be.
Get involved, because that will be an impact. Moomba will be impacted with the current LEP because it's not part of the SAP.
How far does the SAP go on?
I can't tell you east and west, but I know that from the northern side it starts at Avonside and it goes all the way to the mountains.
Eastern side.
Sorry, thank you, the eastern side.
Well, the eastern side goes, western and northern side goes to Kalkai.
Avonside.
And I think it goes to the Moomba River.
And what about on Snowy River Way, how far out is it going to be?
Not very far.
Would Lakewood come in?
Lakewood is in the south, yes.
Yep, but
That's
certainly
okay.
Sarah's here for the evening, so talk your ear off.
That's fine.
You might get some holes.
Yeah.
I saw the DA posted up for the airbag jump facility at Port Rec. Has that DA gone through approval?
I might recall something in the paper from yesterday that I think it did get approved. Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other, going back to the introductions, we also, other than having businesses present, we also sometimes have celebrities. And anybody who's read the Monero Post would know Petro.
Oh, well, is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Who has seen who read the newspaper? I never read newspaper, I have to tell you, to be honest. Who has seen the newspaper?
Yep.
Do you know why I'm in the newspaper? I never. Do you know why? Because you're yes. Well, in the newspaper it says when coronavirus hit, I started walking because we need to keep ourselves fit, and I started picking up rubbish. So I ended up dropping off rubbish like 880 kilos so far, and yeah. So if you see a crazy lady running with a plastic bag in hand, people see the lot, and in the dark, and running along all the way to Junabine. So that's me. So I put a little video up on Facebook, a 25-second video, the first time after 4 months running into town. I actually made it into town, and I picked up only one bag of rubbish. Normally I'm stopped after an hour, there's like bags and bags everywhere. My husband comes and picks me up and we go for coffee. So this was on the 22nd of September. I ran all the way into town. I was so excited, and I made a little video. I couldn't hear the video very well because it was windy, and my husband put the finger on the speakers. I was like, but I can't film it again because this was the moment. So I was so excited. The first time ever. There was only one bag of rubbish and picked up. So this went viral, had lots of comments and lots of thumbs up, and you all say, yeah, do you want to help? Guess what? It's time to help. So this, on the 1st of November, from 7 in the morning till 9, we meet at the coffee shop at Peak Performance because they always give me banana bread for free because I'm so awesome. So we meet up for coffee, and then the plan is my husband will drive volunteers on the main road to East Junabine. We drop you off and good bags, bring your good shoes, long pants, and gloves, hat, water bottle, and then for 2 hours pick up rubbish, and we then pick up the rubbish and bring it to the tip. So if you can't pick up rubbish, that's okay. We need somebody in the car, taking phone calls and organising things. That's okay too. So please share it, and I just created an event on Facebook, and it's called Enya Cleanup Volunteer Group. So I had to bring my business in a little bit because all that means stop producing rubbish in the first place and clean up chemicals. So thank you.
I think technology really symbolises the power of one. You take one person to make a big difference.
One crazy
So,
person.
on behalf of everybody, thanks
thank
Betsy
you.
for running around.
And try to clean Junabine.
Exactly right.
And do not throw rubbish out the car. It costs you $250.
The last one we have is for Fiona. Fiona is our secretary for the last 12 months. Again, she'll nominate again. Fiona does an absolutely amazing job, not only as secretary but also as promotion officer. Certainly our visibility and our transparency as a chamber has increased dramatically over the last 12 months. And for all of it, it's Fiona's job. And she's now so organised, I get speaking notes. How good's that?
Yeah.
Thanks, Fiona.
Thank you. The Junabine Chamber of Commerce have applied for 2 grants, one with the New South Wales Bushfire Recovery Funds from the Council, and the other one through the Small Business Month with the New South Wales Treasury. So we have prepared 4 events so far, and there will be probably another 4 coming in November. Next week, the first 4 events are and can I have my notes, please? The resilience, Tamara Byrne is actually conducting a resilience and stress in the workplace workshop at the Berrydale Hall, and that is being held, I think that's Tuesday. Yes, 27th, starts at 10 o'clock. There are still places for that. Numbers are limited. The Berriedale Hall holds a few more people than the other venues that we've got, so there's plenty of spaces there for that one. The second one is Nicole's workshop, and she's going to be going over the ins and outs of Facebook advertising. And this is not just boosting a post, this is actually going behind the scenes in the back end and preparing a proper campaign, proper ad set, and looking at really targeting your audience and using all of the tools that Facebook have available to you to make sure that you're hitting the right people. Facebook advertising is incredibly cheap if you do it right. So Nicole's going to be doing a workshop now. That'll be on Wednesday, so that's Wednesday.
28th?
28th.
Is it Thursday?
28th is a Wednesday.
Yeah. From 12 to 2, so it starts at noon, and it's up at the Junior Workspace. So all of these events you will need to register for. We need to keep track of people that are in these events and attended. And also, so it's going to go over our student number. It's a fairly small room, but we've got 20 people in there, so should be enough time for them to really get behind the scenes with each of the businesses. The next one is getting the most for Google Workspace. And Google Workspace, I'm so excited about this. Duncan is actually going to be hosting this workshop, and he is, I think I read the other day, he was one of the first 200 Google, what do they call those, Google gurus. He's a Google guru in Australia when Google first came to Australia. So he's been along with Google
Partner,
for
Google
a while
partner.
now, and he really knows it inside out. Google G Suite is the business version of having a nice Gmail account that you can have your own website address as the address rather than at gmail.com. Google have modified this product into an array of Google apps and renamed it Google Workspace. So I'm really excited to hear what Duncan's got. I'm actually going to that one. What Duncan's got to say about the new Google Workspace, and that's on Thursday after Junior Workspace, which we were ahead of time the other day, from 12 to 2 until Thursday. And then on Friday, I will be doing a workshop on advertising, business writing, designing an ad, using a very user-friendly graphics program called Canva. So it's a 2-hour workshop. Again, it starts at 12 and it's at the Junior Workspace. So if this is something that you don't want to pay a professional to do, that you think you can probably get your head around it yourself, I'll be able to give you some tips on how to do that. And we can come out at the end of it with a good branding style guide and just a set of rules that you can follow to make sure that your brand is being really great online. That's it so far. We have put calls out for other workspace workshops, facilitators in the area of the financial and planning and research. So just keep your eye on your emails. We'll have something else for that later on.
Now we've got all that fun stuff out of the way, we get to the very serious part of the evening. We're going to talk about fishing.
Yay.
Hi all, I'm the Chambers rep on, we've got together with 3 or 4 other chambers in the area. Most of you know we've got 3 jewels in our crown here. We've got the National Park, we've got the resorts, and we've got the lake. Many years the lake has been, we've just dropped the ball on activities on the lake. Most of the SAP program that the Chamber pushed really strongly for in the planning stage was to activate the off-seasons. So we're the most seasonal tourism area in Australia by a fairly long way. And it makes it difficult to conduct businesses. Lots of little businesses here open for that busy period and close down. We're trying to create a 12-month sort of economy here with tourism, and it doesn't really work unless all those businesses stay open 12 months a year. So part of that is is to activate activities on the lake, fishing being one of those. Very important fishing. It's one of our major sponsors is the Fly program here, and that deals with mental health. So nothing like after a hard day's work or some troubles to get out there in amongst our beautiful environment and catch a fish. The Snowy Trout Challenge, DPI, Department of Primary Industries, have sponsored us to the tune of about $40,000 to $50,000. And basically that's if anyone's been out to Gaydon Hatchery, if you haven't been out there, you should go out there. There's a display pond, and in that display pond there's trout up to about 5 kilos. So we've got, DPI have given us 430 trout from 2 kilos to 5 kilos. They're going to be distributed to the 2 lakes, Lake Ickenby, Lake Jindabyne, and to another 4 small compounds, water compounds, over the whole Snowy Monaro Shire. And we're going to place some of those fish. There's 170 fish in Lake Jindabyne, 170 in Lake Ickenby, and the balance of the other 4 lakes will be getting the rest of the fish. Some of these will be tagged. We're trying to tag all the fish. At the moment, I think we've got 40 plus sponsors for just the Lake Jindabyne fish. Got a sheet here with the names of those sponsors. I'm very proud of the fact that most of the Jindabyne Chamber members have stepped forward. I've just got a little list of some of the newer sort of sponsorships that we've got. Matt from Snowy River Hotel, $3 $200 pub vouchers, so that's for good drinkers. So, RMA, who've got the caravan park here, they've got a couple of accommodation packages. Lakeside Lures and Tackle, one of our smaller businesses here, $100 vouchers there. Ridges, put 3 nights up with breakfast for the nights. Apollo Blives, Andrew, new chamber member, and Andrew also, he didn't say too much about it, but he flies big birds and he's on JobKeeper at the moment. So it's great to see some enterprise. Couldn't get big birds, not going to fly for a while, so started his own little business in Jindabyne here. So fantastic to see, and young family with kids. So Snowy Regional Solar, Russell here, he's usually here. I'll have to see him for not turning up. Fiona, Tall Red Poppy with all the marketing. Council, of course. Council's sponsorship is Sarah there, so she's that's probably the most valuable piece of sponsorship. Snowy Mountains Magazine, Steve, of course, gives us great sort of sponsorship. So if anyone, we've got to fill in a few more little spaces there. If anyone feels like donating, sponsoring a trout, we've set the minimum at $100. But if someone was to give $200 or $300, they can split that up into 3 or 4 trout. And the more we get, this competition here will run basically from the end of this month through to the end of April. So we're trying to encourage mums and kids and families, anyone that can come up to the area to throw a line in. So thanks again for all the chamber members, especially that have put their hand up for sponsorship. If there's anyone else who wants to be recognised here, feel free. I think there's a full list at the front SPM, so a few gaps there, so fill in your gaps.
Gordon, can I just say one thing on that? It's 172 fish in Lake Jindabyne. We know that not everyone catches the fish every time. You could sponsor a prize and you might actually not have to fork it out. So,
be generous.
We're trying to, if it gets to the end of April, I'll have to get together and see if we can extend it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a big lake for only 172 fish. So.
So thank you anyway.
Thank you.
I'll just wrap up, just to give you an idea. That's something that you're looking at me. Maybe I want to volunteer and put my hand up to become a chamber executive. I'll give you some of the things that we've done this year. Today, Matt just signed a contract to auspice a research project with that's sponsored by EPA, but it's in coordination with Council, the resorts, and ourselves. We've also gone ahead and organised these workshops. We are the conduit for government to knock on our doors. So this year we've also facilitated conversations with John Galliaro, Fiona Codfoy, who was the member who wanted to become a member in Monero, Krista McBain, who is the member for Eden Monero. So we're a natural conduit for government, so we get involved there. It's pretty easy. It's very rewarding. So I hope that's answered some of the questions that I know you've been dying to ask me.
Are you an association?
Yes, we are an incorporated association. Absolutely. AGM, 26th of November.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Hope to see you there. Oh, hang on, got another question. No.
Sorry, it's not a question. We only just finalised it today. I just wanted to let everybody know that the Neighbourhood Centre are having their AGM here on the 25th of November.
Oh, okay.
We often get people coming in almost daily saying, oh, I didn't know this place was here. And the next question is, what is it you actually do? If you want to find out, please come along to the AGM, because that's where you want to know about it.
Cool.
We've got room for another hour or so. There's some beverages there. The money jar is not full, so please go ahead and put some more money in there to help support this event and Riches. Thank you very much for coming. I hope to see you all on the 26th of November.
5 o'clock.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.